who diligently, in parentheses, consistently seek him. He accepts not only that God is real, but that he is also available. God can be experienced. The word says so, and the lives of millions testify that it is so. Everyone has faith. Faith is the heart of life. You plug earphones into your iPod or cell phone, and when you press play, you expect to hear music. You pair your phone to a Bluetooth earpiece or other device with no wires connected, and you expect the two devices to communicate. Other you have no idea how it works, yet you do it believing without a doubt that it will work. Your parents, when we were young, used to take you to the doctor whose name they can't pronounce, give you medicine that they don't know about, and so on and so forth. So when you flip a light switch, you put faith in the electrical wiring. When your parents turn the ignition switch in the car, they trust the motor. When someone mails a letter, they have faith in the U.S. mail service. When you send an email or text message, you have faith that it will get to the person that you sent it to. Sometimes, of course, you have faith in the wrong thing, because faith is also as valuable as an object of that faith. The same is with spiritual faith. It's only as visible as the object of that faith. The same is true with Buddhists. You have faith in Buddha. Muslims who trust in Allah, and atheists who trust in no God. Most religious people put faith in their ability to keep the rules to be good enough to satisfy their God or reach or build up good karma. Even when people claim no religion at all, they still live by faith. Every human puts faith in something. It may be in some notion of human potential. It may be in science or reason or political power. Or they have faith in some concept like nature. But everyone lives by faith. Hebrew 11 is called the faith chapter. We'll start by looking at what biblical faith is. Number one, what biblical faith is, Hebrews 11 puts a big concept in a few words. Now, faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. AWWC had an interesting explanation for this verse. He said, faith is seeing the invisible, but not the non-existent. Some people think faith is believing in something that is not actually there. Biblical faith believes God when he tells us there is reality, which we cannot see. Faith means that we keep our eyes on God who controls circumstances, not on the circumstances themselves. 2 Corinthians 5 and 7 puts it this way: we live by faith and not by sight. That sounds simple enough, but for some reason, people get all kinds of wrong ideas about what faith is. Let's take a few minutes to look at the biblical faith is not. For one thing, faith is not a blind leap in the dark. Some people think that you have to ignore good common sense in order to believe in God. The fact is, believing there is no God requires an unreasonable kind of faith. If atheists put their faith into words that might sound like this: by faith we believe that the universe will evolve from mindless matter, so that order accidentally emerged from chaos. Of course, they are hard-pressed to find any evidence for this statement of faith. Science consistently shows that order does not grow from chaos, and design points to a designer. I don't know about you, but I find Hebrews 11:3 much easier to believe. By faith, we understand that the universe was formed at God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible. That's why Hebrews 11 gives a whole list of people who put their trust in God. These Bible heroes show us what real faith does. For one thing, faith will always result in a heartfelt worship. And so, whenever there is a trial in court, in order to win or lose one's case, it is based on evidence. Arthur wrote an article that said the nature of faith and evidence, that evidence is proof that helps to establish something as valid. The kind of evidence to which we appeal is historical. Historical evidence involves data such as eyewitnesses, written documents, and geographical findings. It leads to us to conclude that certain people exist or certain events occur. In this way, we know that Jesus Christ lived, died, and rose again from the dead, and ascended to heaven, based on evidence. And so faith in Jesus is based on the historical events which are inscribed to him. We did not see Jesus' birth, his baptism, or his body, but we have evidence. We did not see him preach, teach, and heal, but we have evidence. We did not see him die, being buried, and being resurrected, but we have evidence. Evidence can remove honest doubt and give assurance that build faith. Evidence makes the truth plain and pleasurable. Evidence makes belief possible. Evidence brings people toward belief. Evidence helps us to articulate knowledge and defend against error and misrepresentation. I think I need to say that again. Evidence helps us to articulate knowledge and defend against error and misrepresentation. Evidence helps to keep peace and give and take of competing views and opinions. Evidence helps us to form a proper conclusion about a matter. In our text, the writer of Hebrews declares that faith in this substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. James 2:14 through 18 says, faith without works is dead. In other words, James was saying we need some proof. We need some evidence of your faith in God. James shows us that faith and works go together, and you can't have one without the other. In Hebrews chapter 11, we see three examples of individuals who showed us the evidence of faith and works together. Abel shows us that there must be some evidence in your giving. Giving is evidence. By faith, Abel offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice than his brother, by which he had obtained witnesses that he was righteous. God testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh. Verse 4. When we have faith in God, our giving will be excellent. When we have faith in God, our giving